In November, I was in Brazil with a group of AJC leaders with our Belfer Institute for Latino and Latin American Affairs. And I met our next speaker, a principled pro-Israel progressive. Sounds like Richie Torres. Tabata Amaral, a member of the Chamber of Deputies of Brazil, at just 31 years of age, has already served more than 6 years in the chamber. She has been a great friend to the Jewish community. AJC had the privilege of bringing her to Israel through AJC Project Interchange, our really incredible program that brings global opinion leaders and policymakers to Israel to see firsthand the complexity and the beauty of Israel through their own eyes. And whether in Washington, in New York, with Richie, in Brazil, with Tabata, or with the 108 countries that AJC engages, we are so proud to work with leaders in government to advance policies that strengthen the Jewish people, Israel, and allow democracies to thrive. Today, I'm proud to welcome to the stage one such ally. Please join me in welcoming Tabata Amaral.
Good morning, bom dia. It's a pleasure and an honor to be here and to follow Representative Torres, a colleague whose story resonates deeply with mine. We are both young legislators, shaped by hardship and determined to expand the promise of justice in our countries. Like Mr. Torres, I consider my first visit to Israel at the invitation of the American Jewish Committee Project Interchange with the Jewish Federation of São Paulo and CONIB, a life-changing experience. My first visit took place less than a month before the October 7th terrorist attacks, which horrified me and deepened my solidarity with the Jewish community. Like Mr. Torres, I believe a two-state solution, however distant it may seem, is essential to guarantee the self-determination of both Israeli and Palestinian peoples. That means supporting not a specific government, but the fundamental right of democratic states to exist, and, above all, the right of their peoples to live safe and to live in peace. Thank you. I also share with him the strange experience of having to explain, often within our own political circles, why combating antisemitism is not a distraction from my political commitments, but central to them. There is a perception, sometimes whispered, sometimes declared, that being committed to justice, especially in the Global South, is somehow at odds with defending Jewish communities or the people of Israel from hatred and exclusion. I reject that idea. There is no contradiction. It is not despite being a progressive, but because I am one, that I made a point of being here today with you all. The modern struggle for justice draws on many traditions, labor movements, anti-racist struggles, feminist and decolonial thought, and yes, a profound legacy of Jewish experience and intellectual leadership. These are not opposing forces. They are overlapping sources of moral insight and democratic urgency. The Universal Declaration of Human Rights, which I regard as the most important political document of the 20th century, was born from the words reckoning with the Holocaust. It represents a collective admission of failure, the failure to protect the Jewish people, and the failure to grasp how quickly hatred, when ignored, can erode the foundations of our common life. Jewish survivors, thinkers, and scholars helped give meaning to that document, not only in law, but in ethics and politics. One of them, Hannah Arendt, found refuge in American universities. Her writing, shaped by personal loss and philosophical clarity, helped define our understanding of power, evil, and what she called our right to have rights. And yet, despite the lessons of the past, anti-Semitism persists and has resurged. In Brazil, a recent study showed a 350% increase in reports of anti-Semitism since October 7th. My home state of São Paulo, home to half of Brazil's Jewish population, has seen disturbing cases in schools and universities. And these are not isolated events. A 2022 study revealed the presence of over 500 extremist cells across Brazil, with neo-Nazi groups growing by 270% in just 3 years. This is not just a Brazilian problem. Anti-Semitic attacks are on the rise across Europe, Latin America, and the United States. Even American universities, which once gave shelter to scholars like Arendt, have seen such attacks multiply, creating environments where many Jewish students and faculty no longer feel safe. This reality is deeply troubling and demands action. What saddens me the most is that so few voices from the progressive field in Brazil are speaking out. This should not be a partisan issue. Fighting anti-Semitism is not a political strategy. It shouldn't be. It's a moral obligation. It belongs to all of us. And just as we must stand firmly against anti-Semitism, we must also resist its instrumentalization. Today, we see legitimate concerns for Jewish safety being misused to curtail academic freedom and bend institutions into compliance with political agendas. Let's be honest. Let's be honest, such efforts do not build solidarity, they erode it. If we want Jewish students to feel truly safe, and I do want that, we must strengthen these institutions, not hollow them out. We must then hold complexity, not demand conformity. They need our help in that. In times like these, it's tempting to choose sides quickly, to reduce people to labels, to silence those who dissent. But real courage lies elsewhere, in standing with those who suffer, in defending the right to speak and to question, and insisting that dignity is not reserved for a few, but guaranteed for all. That's the vision I carry with me, a world where justice wears no jersey, where rights are not weapons, and where the pursuit of peace and equality is not a test of ideology, but a basic responsibility of leadership. Thank you very much.